Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today, we're going to be putting on our imagination caps and we're going to pretend that one of these bottles or all of these bottles got broken or stolen or something like that. Yeah, aliens abducted the bottle, maybe. But yeah, if something happened to these fragrances, I would just immediately go and buy another bottle because I think they're that good. Yeah, these ones right here. I always have to have a bottle of these. So let's jump into it. Let's check out 10 fragrances I would immediately buy another bottle of if you were so rude as to come in here and bust it or steal it. Got a good mix here, guys, a good mix. Now, not including discontinued ones in here. Frankly, basically every discontinued fragrance that I own, if something happened to them, I might just buy a new one. If you don't believe me, I've done it before. Now, you may want to turn away. You know, if you're squeamish, you don't want to see this, okay? Fair warning. My wife busted this bottle, actually back when we put all this together and we were putting the bottles up. Yeah, that's depressing. This is a Kenzo Air Intense. It's discontinued, quite expensive, and it's seen better days. I can't bear to throw it away, and I haven't decanted it. The fragrance is still fine inside this little plastic bottle, but all the glass around it busted up. And what did I do? Bought another one, and I cried while doing so, just to see all that money. All right, enough of that. Let's kick this off with Tobaccolor from Dior. Tobaccolor. Now this one has tobacco, honey, plum smoke, and peach. It's a little bit divisive. Personally, obviously, I love it. I think it's fantastic. A really nice, smoky yet sweet tobacco scent, and really concentrates heavily on the tobacco, which you would expect, and I'm here for it. But some people don't really like that so much. They think maybe it's not interesting enough for a high-end Dior, a Prive fragrance. Although I think they don't actually call it the Prive line anymore. But I'm still going to call it that. So some people, they just aren't enthused. You know, it's not interesting enough for them, I guess. It doesn't push the envelope enough. But for me, I think it's just fantastic. Top of the line, high quality, sweet yet smoky pipe tobacco. Amazing in fall and winter. And I get really good performance from it too. So this one, absolutely I would buy again. But I hope nothing happens to it because that's expensive. I think it's $250. So yeah, I'd rather just keep that bottle. Before we go any further, I need to give a shout out to the Beast Mode Gents. Thank you, Beast Mode Gents. These guys right here are the top supporters of the channel and I appreciate them so much. So I want to give them a quick shout out. These guys support everything I do and I appreciate it so much. If you want to join the Beast Mode Gents or any of the other Gents tiers, then click the join button below or check the link in the description. Shout out once again, Beast Mode Gents. Now the next one is a new fragrance. So if I busted this one, I would just be annoyed. I'd be like, man, I had this, what, all of a month or two? La Nuit L'Homme Blue Electrique, and I think that this is amazing. Now, some people maybe won't be blown away from this one because it does share a lot of similarities with the original La Nuit L'Homme, the Eau de Toilette, but I think that it takes that original and basically just improves on it across the board. It's more wearable because you can pull this off as easily during the day as you can the evening, and it still functions as an amazing, fantastic evening fragrance. Just throwing out those positive descriptors.
Amazing, great, fantastic, mind-blowing.
It has a little bit of a blue twist to it. It's modern. The performance is better than the original Eau de Toilette. The compliment factor is still there. The versatility, like I said, through the roof. This thing is great. It's one of my favorite releases of the year. And even though it's just basically a reworking of the original La Nuit L'Homme, it's done in such a way that I gotta have this, man. I view it vaguely in the same way as La Nuit L'Homme Frozen Cologne. It doesn't smell like Frozen Cologne, but Frozen Cologne took that La Nuit DNA and made it fresher. And that's what this is doing, only making it more modern, slightly blue. And we also saw what happened with Frozen Cologne. That stuff got discontinued, people freaked out, the price went through the roof, and down the road, if that happens with Blue Electrique, it gets the axe. the price on that is going to go up. Now that would be a long way down the road, I'm guessing, but still. Let's go with something a little blue again. This one basically a reworking of another fragrance, making it more modern. Just like La Nuit L'Homme Bleu Electrique does La Nuit L'Homme, this does with Acqua di Gio. It's Acqua di Gio Profondo. C notes, bergamot, rosemary, cypress, mineral notes, some of the notes in the scent. I really like Profondo. Now, I'm an Acqua di Gio stooge, okay? Acqua di Gio was my signature scent for a long time when I was younger. I've said it a million times. I went through, I can't even tell you how many bottles of that stuff. You know, it was my go-to fragrance 9 times out of 10. And that was for at least 2 or 3 years there. So I've worn a lot of Acqua di Gio over the years, and it's an important fragrance to me in my whole fragrance journey, if you want to call it that. So with Profondo coming out and kind of bringing that Acqua di Gio DNA into the current and maintaining that versatility, maintaining that backbone of Acqua di Gio, I love it. It doesn't get old for me. And I know it's different for every person, but there's that fragrance for pretty much everyone. There's that one fragrance that when you smell it, you're just like, oh yeah. You know, like the memories come rushing back and those feelings that you had wearing it when you were younger or even right now. And Acqua di Gio does that for me. So with Profondo, it's a no-brainer. I gotta have it. It really just kind of awakened my love for Acqua di Gio again, basically. And for some people, Profumo did that. But for me, it was more Profondo that did. Whew. It's me from the future interrupting the video. Today's video is brought to you guys by FragranceUSA.com, so shout out to them. Check them out in the description below. And just for today, they're running a sick Cyber Monday sale. Imagine that. The code is Cyber Monday. Yeah, just Cyber Monday, no spaces. In case you're unaware of FragranceUSA.com, they're a great website to pick up niche fragrances and some designer fragrances at great prices. Everything's authentic, fast shipping, great customer service. You know the drill. So check them out down below, FragranceUSA.com with the code Cyber Monday just for today. So check out the website, see if you can't score yourself a sweet deal. And ignore my ear, it's not red. Actually it is. I came in from outside, it's actually really cold. So back to the video and me in the past. Now I gotta work in some iris in here, so we're gonna do that with Gentlemen Eau de Parfum. There's also vanilla, Tolu balsam, and lavender in here. It smells great. It's like slightly sweet, it's rich, it's deep, it's sexy, it's classy, it's a great scent. It gets lumped together with Dior Homme Intense and Valentino Uomo Intense. Both of those, by the way, fantastic, and frankly, I would buy those again also. But this one stands out on its own. You know, it's not a direct emulation of either one of those fragrances, and all three of those really. They do iris in a slightly similar way, but they're their own things. So this one, I can smell over and over and over and over, and I love it every single time. If I busted this, I'd have to get another one, and I really like what they're doing with the line, frankly. I like Eau de Parfum Boisé, I like Eau de Toilette Intense, love Eau de Parfum, I like Gentleman Cologne. Great line of fragrances. And that one of the whole bunch, I'd say it's my favorite. Now, depending on which day you catch me and what mood I'm in, I might wear one of the other ones over that one, but on the whole, that's the one that I would want to keep the most. Let's get a little oud going on in here, but not really a whole lot of oud, even though the fragrance is named Royal Oud from Creed. I love this scent. It is killer. But it's more spicy woodsy, and oud is almost like a supporting note. You know, you could say maybe it lays a backbone for the scent for the other things to play off of, but it never really becomes the focal point, even though the name is Royal Oud. Man. Man, sometimes you forget how good this is. You go back and give it a smell and it's just, man, it just blows you away. One of the best Creeds, gotta be. There's also cedar in here. There's sandalwood. So again, that woodsy, spicy feel. You've got lots of different woody aspects in the scent. You've also got pink pepper in here, a little bit of lemon, so this little spritz of citrus off the top. Great during the fall, great during the winter. That works during early spring as well. Office safe, fantastic formal scent. A lot to love about Royal Oud, other than maybe the price. At retail, this stuff is crazy expensive. Even at discounters, it's not going to be cheap. Even though it's really expensive though, it's worth the price in my opinion. I've gone through an entire bottle of this, a 75 ml size bottle. So this is my second one. Now we're doing a little more YSL. We did La Nuit L'Homme Bleu Electrique. Now we're going to do a L'Homme flanker, and it is Old Team. Now to be fair, I already have a second bottle of this. So I've got this 100 ml size bottle and a 200 ml size bottle. So technically I would have to lose both bottles, I guess. This one and this one. So this is the one that I've been using. You see that? It's got a nice dent in it, but realistically, with all this stuff, I've got pretty much a lifetime supply, unless something goes horribly wrong. This has ginger, grapefruit, rose, and cedar as some of the notes in the scent. I believe this one's discontinued. People have been talking about that for a while, but you can still find it at discounters. So even though I said I wasn't going to include discontinued things, this one you can still find easily. So it's kind of, skating by the rules that I myself made. The opening to Old Team is the star of the show. That ginger and grapefruit is great in the opening. It's got this liveliness, this sparkle, this freshness, touch of sweetness, and a very clean rose that mingles together. It kind of stands apart in the L'Homme line, does its own thing, but in such a good way. The dry down is not bad at all, but it's not as good as the opening. The opening and the mid just sing. And then once you hit the dry down, it's fresh, it's woodsy, it's masculine, but it doesn't have quite the personality the opening or the mid do. That being said, the opening and mid is so good that I don't care, which you can tell because I have like 300 milliliters. Well, 280. Next up, we got a fragrance that I'm already halfway through the bottle, so I don't really wear this very much anymore because I'm trying to stretch it. It's Monabaco Verano, and it's from Ormonde Jayne. Now, this one is, as I understand it, a limited edition, so there's not going to be a whole heck load of these made. You can pick it up at Twisted Lily if you do shop on the website. Use my code GENTS10, save yourself 10% off. That's good for the entire website. And to my knowledge, that's going to be your best bet at picking this one up. It was actually out of stock for months and months, and then they got a few more bottles in. So as of this video, it's available. I don't know how long, but it's available right now. I really like this. Now, it's got a good amount of Isoe Super. It's got a good amount of cashmere. And so those modern masculine aroma chemicals that you smell used across so many newer releases, you've got a lot of that in here. You've also got citrus, you've got suede, you have tobacco. So it's this melding together of very fresh and kind of blue fragrance aspects with some notes that you would typically associate with heavier, darker fragrances. The versatility is through the roof with this one. You can wear it just about anywhere and people are gonna love it. Big compliment factor as well. Love the bottle. It's a scent that I was unsure of how I would feel about it. Then I got it in and wore it out and about and just fell in love with it. So Monabaco Verano, this stuff is killer. Sucks that it's a limited edition, but I guess technically if you own it, that once it's discontinued fully, that's a good thing because it'll hold value or increase in value if you want to view it that way, I guess. Next up, another newer release, Eros Parfum. Citrus, benzoin, vanilla, and cashmere, and some of the notes in the scent. Now, Eros for me, each release, it's like I start to like it more and more. I didn't dislike the Eau de Toilette, but with the Eau de Parfum, I like that a bit more than the Eau de Toilette, especially now as I've worn them more. And Eros Flame, initially I was kind of lackadaisical on it, but it grew on me. And Eros Parfum is, as of this video, for just me personally, probably my favorite of the whole bunch. Now, I think that the Eau de Parfum is probably the most versatile overall, just on the whole. So if we're talking that, it'd be the EDP, but I really like what they've done with this one. And to an extent, it's a little bit like La Nuit L'Homme Bleu Electrique, Acqua di Gio Profondo, where Eros Parfum really is just, an extension of the original. It's not a flanker like L'Homme Ultime, where things are really changed a decent amount. It's just kind of a fragrance where you can easily draw a line from the Eau de Toilette to the Eau de Parfum to the Parfum. It's not as in your face sweet, you know, not as sticky, bubblegummy sweet as the original. Still has sweetness, just not quite as much. As it's a little bit deeper, a little bit richer, a little bit more mature. And overall, I think just that change, you know, that that added maturity, that less of a focus of just punching you in the face with really, pardon the expression, like synthetically sweet mint in the Eau de Toilette. I think that change that they've made here, it's for the better, at least for me personally. Love the way it smells, good performance on it for me. And it's a fragrance that I would immediately replace, because I think that as of right now, if I want to smell Eros, that's the best one. Let's go Oud again, this time Boss Bottled Oud. Citrus, apple, oud, saffron, and cinnamon. A really, really nice entry to oud fragrances for guys that have never really smelled oud. And I think that even if you have smelled a lot of different fragrances, as long as you don't mind that Boss Bottled DNA, this is a really interesting designer fragrance also. There's enough going on here to make it a nice, pleasant wear for a lot of different people. So you have that apple, you have that cinnamon that's going to tie it together with the original Boss Bottled. Then you have the saffron and oud that bring that kind of Middle Eastern flair to Boss Bottled. I think that it's a really nice reimagining of the original's DNA, and I think that it is perfect for cooler weather, like right now when I'm shooting this video. It's like 20 degrees outside. Now the performance is not crazy, you know, it's not through the roof. It's not one of those oud fragrances that's gonna just slap everybody in the nose as you walk by, but it's good enough that people will be able to notice you, and it lasts a good amount of time also. So what I'm trying to say is the performance is nice, but not super aggressive. Now, last but not least, it is from Lacoste, and it's a fragrance that I picked up from, I believe it was TJ Maxx or Ross, one of those. And yeah, I really love it, which is interesting because apparently most people online really hate it. It's Lacoste Live. This one has lime, licorice, guaiac wood, iris, and some green notes in the fragrance. And yeah, I said this when I picked it up, but I had smelled this years back, 2015, 2016, something like that. I had smelled it and I didn't think too much of it. And then I saw it for next to nothing, $15, $20, something around there. So I picked it up, just a little 40 ml bottle. It's probably why it was so cheap. And tried it on, and I was just kind of taken aback, like, wait a sec, this isn't as bad as I remembered. What is going on here? Now, admittedly, off skin, in the opening, like the initial opening, you get a little bit of that alcohol kind of blast, which you find that in a lot of inexpensive fragrances. But once you let it settle down, it smells really nice. It's green, a bit sweet, spicy, really appealing, you know, potential compliment puller. Performance maybe could be a little bit better, but it's not terrible. But it doesn't cost very much money. It's really versatile. You can wear it during the day or the evening across multiple seasons. And I think that overall, it's just kind of bagged on a lot more than it deserves. And if I busted that, would I pick up another bottle for $15, $20, $25, whatever? Yeah, easily. So there we go, guys. 10 different fragrances I would immediately buy another bottle of. And it's not just these 10. I mean, realistically, I could go through here and probably point you to like 1,000 bottles. Be like, yeah, I'd buy another one of those. Yep, I'd buy another one of those. Yep, I'd buy another one of those. Yep, that one too. But if I do top 1,000 fragrances, I would immediately buy another bottle of. That would run longer than the entirety of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Only it would be much less entertaining. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for hanging with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.